Jagradev, Jai Masters. A lot of people look for rules on the spiritual path. I like to talk about real deep truth. Once you understand the deep truth, it will guide you. And if you practice the deep truth, it will take you there. You can do other things along the way, but you'll find that if you're sincere in following just the basic truths about what's going on, it'll do everything. But people won't do it. They don't want to do it. Some do, and they go very deep. What is the basic truth? Every single thing you have ever wanted, ever looked for, ever craved, is going on inside of you. There is absolutely nothing that you need from the outside or from any other person. You're whole and complete within yourself. Anything you ever felt, love, joy, excitement, enthusiasm, were going on inside of you. It's not going on out there. It's going on inside of you. There may be something out there that acted as a catalyst or a stimulus for you to feel what was going on inside of you. But when you feel love, you feel it inside of you. When you feel joy, excitement, enthusiasm, ecstasy, bliss, call it whatever you want, it's going on inside of you, something you feel inside of you. That's why if you really go into love or you really go into a very deep blissful state, you close your eyes. Why? Because it's so beautiful in there. You just don't want it to go away. That's the basic truth. And people don't get that. And if they do, they're not willing to live it. It's easier if I like sugar and it gives me a buzz. I don't care if it's temporary. It's easier than living without the buzz. So therefore, people eat sugar, which doesn't last and can cause a lot of problems. That goes for a lot of things. If I need coffee in order to feel awake in the morning, I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with sugar, and there's nothing wrong with coffee. That's what gets messed up here. It's not about right and wrong. It's about understanding the deep truths. You are filled with energy. Filled all day. You wake up in the morning, it's there. You go to bed, it takes you on a ride. You wake up, it brings you back. You're filled with energy, period. You're going to used to say, what do you mean you're tired? Energy can't get tired. There's never a time in the universe that energy's been tired. So, something's wrong if you're tired. If it's true that love is inside of you, not just when you feel it's inside of you, it's always inside of you. More love than you've ever imagined is going on inside of you. Now, we'll talk about why you don't experience that. But it's very important to understand the basic truth. You are whole and complete within yourself. I don't care that you don't feel it. I know why you don't feel it. But that doesn't mean it's not true. That doesn't mean that's not it. If the sun is shining outside in its full glory, and you close all your blinds because you're scared of things and put bars over the windows, it's still true that it's purely light out there, right? You did something to stop the light from coming in. I want to talk about the basic truth. Do you know that there's no such thing as night and day? The sun sits out there, so far as best we can tell, for 4.5 billion years, and nothing changes. It doesn't get hotter, it doesn't get colder, it doesn't get brighter, and it doesn't get dimmer. It doesn't turn off at night, and it doesn't turn on in the morning. That's what I mean when I say truth. That's the truth. The fact that you don't perceive it that way, we can discuss that. But you see, that's illusion, delusion, and error. That's what yogis call it, okay? The truth is, that sucker's sitting out there doing the same thing all the time. So this is the same kind of truth. Of course, I know why it appears to be night and day. Of course, I understand why it seems to be colder and hotter, winter and summer. But it's not because of the sun. In fact, I share a truth that most people don't know. In fact, I remember how shocked I was when I learned it. Did you know that in the winter, the earth is closest to the sun? In the summer, it's furthest away. It is not the proximity of the planet to the sun that is creating winter and summer. It is the tilt. That's all it takes. Planet tilts on its axis. And so if you're rotating and you're tilted away from the sun, it's freezing. But it's not a mind blower. What does it show you? Things are not what they appear to be. It's as simple as that. And if you want to know truth, get off the planet. Use your abstract, beautiful, intellectual mind that's capable of going beyond the appearance of things to see beyond yourself. Einstein said the greatest obstacle to us knowing truth is our senses. They lie to us. You think that's a person sitting there. It's not. It's a bunch of atoms. And it's not a bunch of atoms. It's a whole boatload full of electrons, neutrons, and protons. No, it's not a whole boatload full of electrons, neutrons, and protons. It's quarks, leptons, and bosons for those that understand the quantum truth. And it's not really quarks, leptons, and bosons. It's a field of energy, harmonious, the same non-dual energy called the quantum field. So that's what that is. But that's not what you see, because your senses lie to you. Your senses average it all out. Your senses tell you that ice, water, and steam are totally different things. No, they're not. They're the exact same thing under different temperatures. But that's not what you see. And that's how you live. Spirituality is the same type of truth. It is looking beyond the appearance of things. But I will tie them together. Why it seems like it seems that way. Like, okay, why does it seem like there's day and night? Because the planet rotates on its axis, and sometimes it's facing toward the sun, and sometimes it's facing away. That does not mean the sun's doing anything. You're doing it. It's the same thing with spirituality. Now that we've talked about this, you are whole and complete within yourself, but I don't feel it. Yes, you also think there's day and night. There's a deeper place. There's a deeper truth that isn't playing with these illusions and appearance of things. You have to pierce back to that in order to really grow spiritually, in order to see truth. So basically, we made a statement, which most people don't have the slightest idea is the truth. You are whole and complete within yourself. You are self-effulgent. Who? Everybody. Well, what if I'm depressed? You are self-effulgent, you're filled with love, you're filled with joy, you're filled with ecstasy. No, why am I depressed? Because you close the blinds. Why is it dark in here? Because you close the blinds. That doesn't mean that there's not tremendous light and joy and love and ecstasy in there. You just close the blinds. So then it's a different question. Then instead of saying, who do I need to meet so I can feel love? What job do I need to get so I feel inspired? What needs to happen so I had a good day? You said, where are the blinds? Tell me about the blinds. I want them off. Take them off the hinges. If it's true that I'm whole and complete within myself, and I feel ecstasy, joy, and inspiration at all times, and love, that's what I want to do. Tell me where the blinds are, and I want to remove the blinds. Good. And I don't want you to take my word for it. If you experiment with what I'm going to talk about, you'll find out it works. You'll find out that it isn't the way you thought it was, and that there is such a thing as taking off the blinds, and then when you do, you feel more love, and you feel more joy. You're not going to go into the master state of ecstasy instantaneously, but you can. Not instantaneously, but you can. There's no state that any master reached that you can't reach. The funny part about it, and again, a disclaimer right in the beginning, I am a Jewish yogi, but Christ, man, that's my man. I mean, he taught good stuff. He knew what he was talking about. So when I say to you that you are capable of those states, what did he say? As I sit by the throne of my Father, he's not talking about not some little chair up there. He's talking about your state of consciousness, where you reside. As I sit by the throne of my Father, so you shall sit by my side. And these things which I do, you should do these and even greater things. So you have that ability. He also said the following. You ready? The kingdom is within you. It means that the light and love and ecstasy and joy and magnificence of your being is inside of you, not outside. Yoga. These are the deep teachings. I just thought I'd put that down to start with. This is not some weird thing we're teaching here. Buddha taught the same thing. Christ taught the same thing. They all did. And all the great masters. So if I am filled with joy and love and light and ecstasy at all times, and if every single bit of love I ever felt was actually coming from inside of me, and when I feel inspired, it's inside of me, and when I feel high, it's inside of me, Why don't I feel it all the time? For the same reason, exact same reason, that if you put the blinds down, you don't see light. You blocked your energy flow. You blocked your love. You blocked your inspiration. You blocked your joy. You blocked everything. You blocked it all. It says, again, in the Bible, it says, in the Old Testament, it says, man was created in the image of God. You don't know that. You can know that. It's all the exact same problem. You have blocked spirit. You've blocked the energy flow. I can't even say enough words. You blocked your connection to God. You blocked your connection to love. You blocked your connection to ecstasy. You blocked your connection to all the greatness that's going on inside of you. Okay, now take a breath. Why would I do that? I don't want to do that. I'm seeking love in every relationship I have. I'm seeking enthusiasm and joy in every job I have, in every task I do, every vacation I take. It's everything I'm seeking. Why would I block it? I'm glad you asked. So we come down to, I'm going very slow, but I started at the truth. The truth is the truth. There it is. You're whole and complete within yourself. When Christ said, my Father and I are one, he's talking about you. The great masters merged with God. They merged. Their consciousness fell back into the universal, into the beginning and end, and so on. And Christ said it perfectly, my Father and I are one. That's true of you right now, at this second, period. Except for the fact that you're blocking that connection. You're blocking that energy. All right. How and why? How about we answer that? All right. How would I block it? Well, we know when you put blinds up, we know what those look like. We know how to do the blinds. We know that they create darkness when you close them. How did I didn't purposely do it. I'm sorry. Why would I do such a thing? How did I block this beautiful flow of energy? In yoga we call it Shakti. Christians call it spirit. In the East they call it Chi, whatever you want. There's just this beautiful energy inside. Why would I block such a thing? You started, this by the way is also the fall from the garden. I won't use it that way. I'll talk about you and not Adam and Eve. But it's the same thing. You were in ecstasy. And somehow you fell out. How? Events happen in this world. Things unfold. You experience them. They're not real. The truth is it's just energy, but you were given senses. And, a motion picture wouldn't be fun. In the old days, it's hard now. In the old days, there was a bulb behind some film, and it went and moved and rolled, and the little frames within the film showed the picture up there. Well, in truth, it's just light. It's just the light from that bulb shining through this film, all right? That's the truth. So now go to the theater. I'm going to take the film off, and we'll just look at the light for a while. No, I don't think it would pay for that. You wouldn't want to do that. So God decided, the creator anyways, let's make it a little more interesting. Even though it is all light, it's all the quantum field, let's put some film in front of it. That's your particles and all that stuff. And then let's make eyeballs and other senses that exactly can see the film with the illusion I created. And so the air, look, pop, isn't that more fun? Right? That's okay. We can dig it. We can have some fun going to Disney World. Right? Here it is. And so you look out and you see it, and you get to experience things. What's wrong with that? You get to experience people and places and things and trees and all kinds of events, weather, everything. You're there inside, conscious, totally in ecstasy, filled with love and joy. That's the garden. And you're experiencing creation. Nothing wrong with that, is it? That'd be kind of fun. Every day you wake up, well, I wonder what's going to happen today. You just have yourself a good old time. But what about these blockages? Things, I do it in deep, slow motion. I spent 3 years writing Living Untethered. So you really want to get into it, read that book. But basically, you start off with understanding that the Buddhists say everything has its nature. The nature of an elephant is different than the nature of an ant. The nature of a rattlesnake is different than the nature of a butterfly. They all have a vibration. They all have their essence. Your mind didn't create that. They have a different vibration. Somebody comes up to you and disses you versus compliments you. It feels different. And I'm telling you, the greatest master to ever live doesn't say it doesn't feel different. It is supposed to feel different. A rattlesnake all coiled up and rattling feels different than a butterfly landing on your arm. It is supposed to. It's an experience. You get to experience things. As long as that's what's going on, you can get up in the morning, have your experiences, and go to bed at night. And you're still filled with love and joy, and you're giggling. You went to Disney World. Okay, then you went to Epcot. Basically, you just went to an amusement park every day, and something different is happening every day. And if you're filled with love and joy and excitement, that's what it is. But that's not what you did. When it came in, and the vibration was strong, I mean, you're okay with the in-between stuff. I was going to say to you right now, listen to me, 99.9% of every single thing that comes in through your senses every day is the way I just said. It just comes out. There's a tree. Oh, there's white lines in the road. Oh, there's a car driving by. It's just an experience. You don't do anything with it. Just experience it. There's a person. There's a person. Oh, she has red hair. There's a person. No, she's a girl. There's a boy. You're just experiencing what is. You're seeing what is. But there's that 0.1% in there. Somehow, there's some things that the vibration is such, the nature, I call the vibration in the nature, that when it comes into you, and you, the consciousness, starts to experience it, you have trouble. You have trouble experiencing it. The event already passed. The rattlesnake crawled away. The butterfly flew away. The person walked away. It's over. The Buddhists say everything in life is temporal. You've heard that? It is. It comes and goes. Nothing stays the same. It just comes and goes. It's a motion picture. The frames, when I'm showing the motion picture, they didn't stay the same. You could repeat one once in a while, but they're not the same. They're changing every single moment. Nothing. No atom is in the same place it was before. No electron is in the same place it was before. It's a happening place. And it's just flowing right by. So it's not the event itself that got stuck. It's when the event came into you and you're experiencing it. You, the consciousness, the awareness, had trouble experiencing it. And you actually resisted it. You actually said no. Have you ever said no to events inside? The way I describe it is you have hands inside, just like you have hands outside. You push things away outside, don't you? You grab things outside. You do the same thing inside. You have hands in there. It's called will. You can push away inner events. You can push away the experience, not the event itself, but the experience of the event. And you can say, no, I don't want to experience this. When you do that, where does it go? Well, you said the rattlesnake crawled away. Yes, but the experience of it didn't crawl away. Everything else came in and went through. You drove by the white line. Imagine if you can't drive by a white line. Well, you can't go anywhere. You have to stop and get rid of it and look at it. Oh my God, there's a white line. It's not painted just right. You ever seen it? They drip and oh my God. What if you couldn't handle that? Then you're in trouble. You got stuck there, didn't you? If you can't handle the experience of an event and you push it away, it got stuck. What did? Not the event. The event went right by. It went away. She left you. It's an event. It's an experience. There it goes. The event. Gone. But not gone inside, is it? Not gone inside. Why? The white lines went by. The tree went by. The car went by. The people walking down the street in New York went by. Why did that not go by? By the way, he was standing next to you when she went away and said goodbye. Didn't bother him. It went right by. Oh, she left. So it's not the event itself. It's the experience that you were not able to handle. So that it came in and it created a vibration inside of you that you couldn't handle, so you pushed it away. That's getting close to what Freud talked about suppression, isn't it? You attempted to suppress, deny, resist, I don't care what you want to call it. You messed with that sucker. You didn't let it come through, and therefore it got stuck inside. When you do that, does it ever come back up in your mind? How about, does it ever not? The answer is no. Okay, you now have just understood what it means to block the energy. But I wasn't blocking love. I wanted love. That's why, no. You don't think you were blocking love. You don't think you were blocking enthusiasm. There is this beautiful flow of Shakti, of energy, that rises up inside of you free of charge. I told you, it's your natural state. You just shoved something into that. And you don't know that. But that's the truth. If water is flowing down a stream, perfectly clean, and you stick a rock in it, what happens? all kinds of eddies and sprays and disturbances happen. When you took that experience that was meant to just be a learning experience, it's here, learn from this, here, do this, and the universe is bringing you all this stuff, and you're learning it. When it goes all the way through, it's not that it goes away, you learn from it. I learned. Yes, if you climb a mountain and you're fine with it, it doesn't mean you didn't learn how to climb a mountain. But if you climb a mountain, you freak out. Oh my God, I could have fallen. And that's all you get from the thing is a fear. You will have that fear for the rest of your life. You'll be afraid of mountains. You're going to have trouble because you stored that thing inside of you. But understand that if you didn't store it inside of you, it doesn't mean it didn't teach you and make you greater. Everything you do, everything you experience comes in, passes through, and you're a better person because of it. If you never saw a snake in your life, the first time you see a snake, you're not as good as the person. I mean, around here, there are snakes. There's coral snakes. Careful. There's rattlesnakes, coral snakes, water moccasins. Here's a happening place. No one. I mean, hundreds of thousands of people have come out here over all the years. No one's ever got bit by a snake. I mean, there's coral snakes, real coral snakes, just in right colors. And they walk around. You don't have to pick them up or anything, all right? So there, we let it go right. It just goes right through. It passes through. But somebody else, they don't know any better, and it gets stuck. And now they have that impression stuck in their mind for the rest of their life. I'm not moving. I'm moving to Arizona. Are you crazy? There's rattlesnakes in Arizona. But I want you to live with me. I love you. Not in Arizona. But that's where I work, not in Arizona. Laugh all you want. If I tell the truth, all right. So this stuff gets stuck. It didn't stick itself. There's no super glue in there. There's no fly paper. You're doing it. You have will. You were given free will. And you use that will to push away that experience, but let other ones pass through. The ones who pass through, you learn from. They don't leave scars. You're a better person. They're part of your joy. They're part of your ecstasy. I met this person. They were so wonderful. It was like we fell in love instantaneously, and then she moved. What a experience. I learned so much about love and about myself and about people and about how to handle things. It was wonderful. Okay, that's very good. I met this person. Oh my God, she was my soulmate. I loved her so much. And then she moved. Oh my God, I lost the love of my life. I can't handle this. I think about it all the time. My mind's bothering me every single moment. My heart's burning. Okay, you didn't handle that very well. See the difference? And I'm not saying you should be there. I'm not judging. I'm just telling you, if you let it go through, it will go through. It's not true that it can't go through. You said it can't go through. You know how you said it? You ready? I can't handle this. I want to know, have you ever said those words? I can't handle this. What do you think it means? Hell no, it ain't going through me. I can't handle this going through me. Well, maybe it means I could go backwards in a time machine and then it won't happen. That's what it means, I can't handle it. I'm going to do a rewind. No, there's no such thing. No one's ever done that. Either you handle it or you don't, because it already happened. I'm being real, aren't I? Getting right down to truth. I told you the truth is you're ecstatic. We'll get back there in a minute. I want to show you what you did. So it seemed innocent. It seemed natural. It seemed human. I'm only human. You are not. You're not. You're the greatest thing that walked the face of the earth. You're a manifestation and expression of God, of the creator of the universe. That's what you are. Not your ego, but that's what's inside of you. Everything is inside of you. It's the most beautiful thing. That's what namaste means. I know that inside of me is the most beautiful thing that exists in the universe. And I know that's inside of you also. I honor and respect that part of you. So basically, this thing comes in, and you can't handle it. And so you resist it. When you resist it, I'm telling you, I've done this for 50 years, all right? Not to mention being way greater than me. When you resist the experience, not the event happened, but you resist experiencing the event, gestalting the event, finishing the event, letting it flow through, you then block the energy, and it gets pushed down into your energy flow. And that's what you feel as emotions. That's what you feel as disturbance. It was flowing beautifully. It's ecstasy. But if you push this stuff down into it, then it hits that stuff. Okay? It hits what you stored down there. It hits the resistance that you created. And now you're in trouble. And you did that lots of times about lots of things throughout your whole life. Okay? You have all these experiences and you collected them. And most of the ones you collected were bad experiences. What did you do with all those experiences that were difficult? I pushed them away because I don't want to experience them. Right? So now you have built inside of you, inside this beautiful temple, this beautiful thing that you were given, you built this stuff in there. And now you got lost. You get lost in that stuff. So that's that. I'll go deeper, but that's the only reason you don't feel the light. That's the only reason you don't feel the ecstasy. That's the only reason you don't feel that. Well, how can I prove that? All right? You stored all this stuff in there. And what you did with that stuff, not only did it block your energy flow, but you used it to develop a concept of how the world needs to be every day, every moment, so that you're not bothered and so that maybe you feel okay. All of your preferences, likes, dislikes, fears, attractions are based on this stuff that you stored inside. So that if somebody hurt you in 5th grade and her name was Lois, you don't like Lois. And somebody says Lois, I'm telling you, heart goes like this 50 years later. If you had a marriage and it was wonderful, then you had a divorce. It wasn't so wonderful. Usually they're not so wonderful. But you lived in this town, and you used to eat at this restaurant, and you used to go over here, and you used to have fun going over there. When you drive past those places now, 10, 20 years later, it doesn't feel right. I don't go to that restaurant anymore. Isn't that amazing? And in other words, that stuff has blocked your energy flow. So here, you used to have an energy flow. You love the restaurant. All you have to do is shove the thing down there, and you develop a personality. You develop a self-concept. I'm the one that likes this, the one doesn't like that. I'm the one this happened to. I'm the one this didn't happen to. I didn't get chosen. Oh, my God. You hear me? And you develop this whole ego, this whole self-concept in your mind made out of that stuff. That's what's so funny. You made it out of you. Those are your Lego blocks. But they're not nice ones. Most of what you stored in there is stuff that hurt you, stuff that you weren't comfortable with. And you don't want it to happen again. And so you build a whole thing about what I like and what I don't like and how to get what I like to happen and how to make sure that what I don't like doesn't happen. And now you go out into the world, and what happens is as follows. If someone comes up and says to you what you want to hear, when you want to hear it, and stands just the right distance away, here, I'm going to come and say something really nice to you, but I'm going to be this far from your nose. I really like you. Whoa! Doesn't do it, does it? All right? I'm going to stand this far away. Hello? Wow, I really think you're neat. What do I smell? What are you doing back there? It has to be exactly the way you like it. The tone has to be right. The body language has to be right. Distance has to be right. And by the way, you have to like that person. What if it's the type of person you don't like? Then if they come up to you in front of your friends and say, oh my God, I've always loved you so much, I've just been afraid to, is he going to shrink away? So if you store all that stuff in there and you build a personality and a preference system and an ego, a self-concept is what it's called, out of that, then I admit, in fact, not only do I admit, I want you to understand, if something comes up to you that matches your stuff, oh, she looks like my girlfriend from 5th grade. Met anybody like that? Well, she grew up in the same place as her. You start opening, don't you? It starts not scaring you. It starts matching the positive things you stored. And, oh, she likes the same things I do. And she really doesn't like the things I don't like. She had a bad experience with a snake, too, when she was little. Oh, my God. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to feel love. That's love at first sight stuff. It's not chemistry, it's physics. It's energy. And because you shove these rocks down there and they cause all this disturbance, now you're dealing with something that takes you away from that matches your stuff. You do what we call open. You do say that, right? I feel so open. I feel so closed. You know what that means? The blinds. You opened the blinds and the light came in. It's not that she or he was giving you the light. Is that you're allowing the light to come in because you opened. There's the real secret, isn't it? How do I know? Well, no. Oh, my God. She or he is the most wonderful thing in the whole world. They emanate light. I can feel it. I can't wait to see them again. You see them again, and they say one thing that you didn't expect. One thing. Lately, I've been using, they slurp their soup. And you don't like soup slurpers. All of a sudden, they're not so much light, is it? Not so much love. That's all it takes. One thing. What is that telling you? It's telling you what I just taught you is the truth. You are filled with light and love. You block it. If something happens outside that happens to line up with your blockages, your positive blockages, not your negative blockages, you say, I trust you. I feel comfortable. Do you feel deep love for somebody when you meet them and you feel really uncomfortable around them? They scare you and you're afraid of what they're going to say or what they're going to do and you're really uncomfortable? No, you don't feel love then. You close. All right? It's because you're opening that you feel your love. It's not their love. You have opened the blinds, and the love that has always been inside of you, except what you got inside of you is 10 billion times bigger, and you opened up, and to whatever extent you open up, you feel the love. You feel the thing. Get a job. Oh my God, they promised me a job. It's the job of my dreams. It's so perfect. It's unbelievable. I get to do this. I was so excited. It's the first time in years that I felt enthused to go to work. I can't wait to get there. Why? Because it matched your stuff. And what happens when you go there and they say to you, you're all going to work here, so, but you're not going to work for that person, and that's not going to be your project. Somebody else came in that's better than you on this. I want you doing this. The balloon gets deflated. You're not so excited about going to work anymore. Right or wrong? You did that. You did that based upon these blockages that you stored inside, positive and negative. And if things match, you open. If things don't match, you close. It really closed me when they told me that. It's too bad. I was so open to the job. Now I'm closed. I love those words. You're talking about the blinds and how much light you're willing to let in. So that's the bottom line. Now you have two choices. Once you understand that truth, and very few people understand that truth. What do you think? They were born with that? And somehow there's this innate tendency to like this or like that? It's not. B.F. Skinner, the psychologist, said, man is the sum of his learned experiences. It's not true. You are the consciousness that's aware that your mind and heart are the sum of your learned experiences, but I'll cut him some slack. Man is the sum of his learned experiences is a very good statement. The reason you are the way you are is because of the experiences you blocked. That's the sum of that stuff. You've held on to some and you pushed others away. Those are stuck inside of you. And now when the world matches, by the way, it doesn't even have to match. You can think it's going to match. And you open. This is my day. Look, my horoscope said this. It said I'm going to meet somebody. Wow, are you it? I think that's it. It must be. Because I used to dream of somebody with a beard, and now it's my day. What? My God, you better hold yourself back when you meet the person. I'm not exaggerating, am I? Okay? You're doing the whole thing. So you know how, once you understand that, that's the deep truth I was talking to you about. Once you understand that, you have a choice. A life-level choice. Determine, based upon your blockages, what you think will make you happy, what you think will make you feel love, what you think will be terrible and turn you off, and then think about how can I make what happen what I want, and how can I make not happen what I don't want, and then go out there and get to work. Go out there and influence people and manipulate and make sure you say the right thing and make sure you don't ever say the wrong thing and make sure that everything dressed the way you're supposed to dress and do the kind of thing and, stop in it. Try and make sure you know what somebody else wants and then you try to do it and then I don't even want to talk about it, so it gives me a headache. But that's the life you live in because you've decided this is me. What's you? This sum of my stuff I stored inside. That's what I am. How do you know? Because when it happens the way I want, I feel really good. And when it happens the way I don't want, I feel really bad. Therefore, this is real. It ain't real. You built that. Just like the blinds. There don't have to be blinds. You take that stuff down, it's just pure light. Period. Just like the blinds. But you leave it conditional. It's called conditional love. Conditional well-being. It's only there when the conditions match what you decided based upon your past experiences, based upon your blockages. So now you choose. Do I go out there and try to impress everybody and manipulate life and say the right thing and wear the right clothes and never do anything wrong and apologize when I'm supposed to, but I don't know I'm supposed to. Maybe I look neurotic by apologizing all the time. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to, I'm sorry. It's called neurosis. Okay, that's what ends up happening. You end up neurotic because you have all this stuff in here. You don't know what to do. I don't know how to act. I don't know what to do because I'm all confused in there because I got all kinds of stuff. Or you don't have to live like that. But then I won't be happy and I won't have love. And no, you're wrong. Because you're blocking your love, the alternative is get rid of those blockages. If I get rid of the blockages, will I attract to myself everything I want? If you get rid of the blockages, there are no wants. There's just a complete state of total well-being, total contentment, total love from inside. Well, so I mean, I'm never going to get married. It has nothing to do with that. That was the game you were playing because you thought you needed things to be okay. You're not playing that game anymore. You're not playing the game, what do I need in order to be okay? You're playing a very different game. You're playing the game that says, I am okay. Well, and I feel it because I messed it up inside myself. I blocked myself. I need to get rid of the blockages. Has nothing to do with whether you're married or not. Has nothing to do with your children or not. Has nothing to do with whether you're rich or how much money you have. Has nothing to do with the kind of car you drive. Has nothing to do with the kind of clothes you wear. Those were the things you did to try to get what you wanted, to try and get the world to unfold in a way that when it came in, it didn't hit your bad blockages, and you're going to call them some scars, didn't hit your bad stuff, but hit your good stuff. I didn't get into that with you, but you also store good stuff. I had this beautiful experience in Hawaii. I can't wait to go back. Can we go back this year? Oh, we can't afford it. Oh, my God. And you get depressed. Even the good stuff messed you up. It's like you want to cling. The Buddhists call it clinging. You want to cling to things that made you happy, but then you stored them inside, and other things don't make you happy. Well, we can't go to Hawaii because there's a volcano going on, but we can go here. No, I don't want to go there. It's not going to make me happy. You just messed yourself up, didn't you? So even the good stuff messes you up because you cling to it. It's only when it's able to pass through and you just enjoy life. You're just open to what? No. Not to something. There's no object. You're just open. You're having the experience. Guess what? If somebody asks you how you're doing, you know what to say? I'm having the time of my life. Guess what? You are. That's what every moment is, the time of your life. The problem is you won't let it be the time of your life. Only if it matches the stuff you held on to that you liked before. Wow! Now I'm having the time of my life. I got to go back to Hawaii. You should be that way all the time about everything. How you like that? Do you mean I can't go to Hawaii? You can go to Hawaii, you can go to Alaska, you can stay home. Doesn't matter. You're filled with ecstasy. You're filled with joy. You're whole and complete within yourself. I started this way. It's not about doing or not doing. It's not about what you have or don't have. It's about you've released yourself from these blockages that you stored inside. We'll talk about how in a minute. But you released yourself, freed yourself. Untethered is a nice word. You untethered yourself from these blockages that you stored inside, and now your natural state inside is high, is beautiful, you're fine. By all means, get married. So why would I get married? To share the love that you feel inside. Not to get the love, to share the love. That's a whole other type of relationship. Here it is. You want some? Fine. You don't? Fine. It ain't going to change me. I'm going to feel it anyways. I love sharing it with you, but if you want to leave, where's the suitcases? I'll be back. That's a very high being. We won't discuss that. But the net result is you understand nothing's going to be taken. Of course, you're going to go through some change because of that. The book talks about that in great detail, how the Shakti gets used to a certain flow. But if you're high enough, you understand, fine, I'm going to feel some disturbance because she left, because he left. I will feel pain. I will feel loss. But it has nothing to do with who I am. It's just the energy rearranging itself, but inside, deep inside, I'm whole and complete and nothing will ever take it away. I wasn't in the relationship to get love. I was in the relationship to share the love. So, of course, if your dog dies or something happens, you feel some loss because you were sharing. The energy was flowing that way. But deep inside, you know it's just temporal. It's just an experience. It's just an experience. And at some point, though you'll get mad at me, it's a beautiful experience. What? The sense of loss, a feeling of love. Somebody once called, a very straight person working with me, and I talked to him, and somebody he felt a lot of respect for died, and he shared with me, that he was really having a lot of trouble. I said, your heart hurts? And he said, yeah, my heart hurts. I said, well, don't you understand that is a expression of love? If you didn't love that person, your heart wouldn't hurt. So that's equivalent to saying, I love you. And he got it. There's nothing wrong with that. I always say to you guys, there's this music is supposed to express what we feel inside. So somebody wrote this thing called the funeral march. You've heard it before, right? Dun, dun, da, dun, dun, da, 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 da. Kind of sad, isn't it? Right? Really expresses it, right? Chopin wrote that. One of the great composers wrote that. That's what it would take. A great composer to capture that moment of loss, of pain. What's wrong with that? Does it feel wonderful? No, it feels like it feels. Okay, it feels like loss. Okay, fine. So you're happy to go through that. People say to me, I'm supposed to be happy because someone I love died? I won't answer you that you even asked the question because you don't understand. No, you're not, oh boy, she died. Then you didn't love her very much, did you? No, you feel a sense of loss, but you appreciate and respect feeling the sense of loss. It's part of your experience of life. It doesn't mean you're not feeling it. It means you're not afraid to feel it. It means you don't define it as wrong. It's not wrong to get scared that a rattlesnake is rattling 10 feet in front of you. It's just that it happens. You appreciate it. You say, whoa, that was so scary. That was so unbelievable. You should have seen that. And you're fine. You're not afraid now to go for a walk in the woods. It's an experience you managed to have, and you processed it, and you learn from it. So yes, now when you walk in the woods, you be careful not to step on big piles. Nothing wrong with that. You can learn, but you're not scared. It didn't leave a negative impression inside of you. Well, that goes for everything. So basically, you come to the point where you understand it's not about not getting married. It's not about not getting rich or getting rich, anything. It's not about anything like that. The world unfolds. That's not the question. The question is, can you handle it? Can you experience it? Can you let it come in and learn from it and move on? Does it all feel the same? No, it doesn't feel the same. And you don't want it to. If every single day was that Groundhog Day that Bill Murray was in, if every single day was exactly the same, why bother getting up? If every single feeling was the same, every thought was the same, no. It's a happening place. It's exciting. It's the Garden of Eden, as is. The question is, can you handle the different experiences that you're having? And the answer, of course, is no. Didn't mean to answer for you, but so then your choice is, do I go out there and make sure that life not dare to unfold in a way that makes me feel what I don't want to feel, and only can unfold in the way they do, manipulating people, doing all kinds of stuff? Or do I do this very, very great thing, and I respect you very deeply if you even want to, that says, I did this. I screwed myself up. No, Mommy did. No, Mommy's dead. You haven't had that relationship with your mother for 20 years. Don't tell me she screwed you up. It's her fault. I will let her have some ownership. That'll be her fault what she did. That wasn't so nice. But for the next 20 years, after it's over, you did that. She's not even there. You can't. How do you blame her? She's not there. That's the attitude you take as a spiritual being. I don't need to hold this inside of me. And so you start to live a life that says everybody else is trying to get what they want and avoid what they don't want, and creating quite a mess. That's where all your wars come from. That's where every single thing comes from. Or somebody comes inside, and it might as well be you, and says, I wonder what it would be like to get this stuff out of here. To not walk around with all this junk inside of me that's so sensitive and so scared and so needy and so everything like that. That's due to the blockages. And so you do this thing called work on yourself. And the new book, Living Untethered, goes into great detail about how to do that. There's nothing miraculous about it. It's not like touch your nose and turn around 6 times and say a mantra, right? I'm not into that stuff. It's about, have you noticed that every day your stuff comes up? Have you noticed that every day your stuff comes up? Even you don't like the weather, do you? You don't like when it's raining, you have to go outside. You don't like when it's hot out. You don't like when it's cold out. That's your stuff too. Why? Because that's reality. Right? There's weather out there. And liking it and not liking it's not going to change a thing, is it? So you keep bothering yourself. There's a line in the new book that I really like, and Oprah said it was her favorite line. The moment in front of you is not bothering you. You are bothering yourself about the moment in front of you. I always use the car in front of you. Okay, the car in front of you is not driving the speed you want, didn't use a blinker. It's not killing you. But you sure do complain about it, don't you? Inside you say, and then you wonder why you're not okay. You're not okay because you're not making yourself okay, even with these tiny little things. And so that's where you work. You start working with little things, then the stuff comes up by itself. People say to me, well, how do I know what I'm supposed to let go of? You'll know. It'll be in your face. It'll be right. Don't go fishing. You don't have to go fishing. No, don't do that. Literally, don't do that. All I'm saying, it is sufficient that stuff comes up, whether it be moment to moment is bothering you. Somebody said something, didn't say something. You spilled some ketchup in your pants. You have to go back to work. Just these stupid little things. I call them low-hanging fruit, where the only reason they're bothering you is you said so. If it doesn't bother you to have ketchup on your pants, don't worry. Nobody cares. They're more interested in themselves. So you don't need to do that. So you start working on that. Then something else comes up, and you let go of that. What do you mean let go? How do you let go? Notice the tendency to resist. There. That's the starting point. Notice your hands inside wanting to resist what happened. You do notice that, don't you? Notice the tendency to resist. And instead of doing that, relax. Whoa. That takes guts. It's just the inner energy. There's nothing happening. The event already happened. It's gone. The person already said something or didn't say something. Here, you walk outside, you come into the house, it's air conditioned. It was so hot. Oh my God. Oh, it's not. What are you doing? It's not hot now. Let go. Relax. Instead of participating in the mess or resisting, relax. Relax inside and outside. Relax your shoulders, relax your heart, relax your buttocks. Relax. And then inside, those hands that want to do that and push, relax them. Breathe. If you want to do a mantra, sure, these techniques work. The book goes into them. Meditate, do a mantra. But please, when the stuff is coming up during the day, and it comes up all the time during the day, your likes and dislikes and your resistances and so on, relax. That's all you have to do. I told you, it's not hard. Just stop resisting. Stop pushing it away. New stuff, old stuff. Now, really big old stuff, you're not going to be able to do that. I don't want you to work with that. You can't. It's too deep right now. I want you to develop the techniques of letting go with simpler stuff. And then something bigger will come up and you'll know how to do it. Just like you know how to play the piano when you practice. Just like you know how to play a sport when you practice. At first you don't know how to do it, do you? Practice letting go. Practice relaxing. Practice realizing I do not want this stuff inside of me. And so I'm going to work on letting it go. And as you do, you're going to feel more energy. But it takes time. It's not going to all happen at once. You let the lower layer go, then the next layer, and the more you let go, then something big will come up. I'm warning you, but it's skull and crossbones. That stuff's down there, it's coming up. But I thought it was supposed to be love and joy. It will be eventually, but right now, mommy slapped you, or daddy did this, or the parents got divorced, or your girlfriend left you, and you didn't deal with it at all. You just pushed it away, rationalized it, and denied it. So now it's coming up. Why? Because you're not resisting as much. Because you've learned to relax. But what do I do when it comes up? Relax. Oh, I can't. Okay. If it's so strong, although my experience is, though, even I have trouble believing it, that you won't be challenged with more than what you're capable of handling. That's the way it works. You mean life is so... it has nothing to do with life. It has to do with the fact that at any point, you're putting your stuff out there, making a target. I have really, really deep stuff about redheads. Well, you've got that plenty suppressed, and it's not going to come up until you're ready to handle it. Does that mean I won't see a redhead until I'm ready, that God manipulated the world? No, it means that it didn't touch your stuff yet because you kept pushing it down. It's not ready to come up. Then all of a sudden, well, why did it come up now? I was so happy. Everything was going well in my life. And all of a sudden now I just keep seeing redheads. Okay, because now it's ready to come up. Do you see the difference? So I can sit there and say to you that you will not be faced with more than what you can handle, but that's not saying because God manipulated the whole universe for everybody and everybody's getting exactly what they need. They are getting exactly what they need. But God didn't have to do it that way. God built you such that it would automatically work out that way. It's way deeper than saying God created the universe and changed the day so that I'm dealing with what I'm supposed to be dealing with. Basically, you just don't worry about it, whether God did it, didn't do it. I don't even care if you believe in God. And I've said it over and over again, and I'm not dead yet. There's no lightning. It has nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with believing in God. It has to do with understanding that you're the most beautiful thing to walk the face of the earth, and you have messed it up. Just deal there. That's good enough. And start letting go of the mess, and then you come back and tell me about what happened inside of you. Because what's going to happen inside of you that energy is going to start to flow. Why? Because you stop blocking it. And what's going to happen inside? You're going to start liking that energy more than you like girlfriends and boyfriends and A's and money and all these things, because they can't really get you what you're already feeling. And so basically you'll fall in love with this energy. You will. It's not a commandment. It's a statement. You will love this because it's everything you ever wanted in your whole life anyways. It's all you were getting when you got the things you wanted, is you were feeling the flow inside. But now you're feeling the flow inside. By the way, spiritually, you're not feeling love. You're feeling the source of love. You're feeling the place where all love that you've ever felt came from, except it's unconditional. It's there every second. You want to feel it? Wave your hand in front of your heart. It pours inside of you anytime you want, because you're open. It is your being. So basically you fall in love with that. And what happens because you're in love with that, you do the same thing you do with anything you love. You want to be with it. So all of a sudden time alone or meditation or call it whatever you want is not something you have to do. It's not something you're supposed to do. You can't not do it. Any moment you can get to sit with this awesome, beautiful love and joy that's pouring inside of you is the greatest thing in the world. And if you get to go to work, all of a sudden you find out that energy doesn't mind what it's doing. It just loves expressing itself. Whoa. Well, then you'll be the best employee that ever lived. You're sleeping on floors, you love it. No matter what you're doing, you put your whole heart and soul into it. Why? Because you just want to do it. It's just beautiful. And then you go deeper and deeper, and eventually you get to the point where that energy is so beautiful, it's what your life is all about. But notice that doesn't mean you're sitting in a cave somewhere. Your life's all about that energy, but that energy loves expressing. That's what it means to be in the world and not of it. I talked about that the other day. You're in here, but in here is emanating this beautiful love and joy and inspiration. And so all of a sudden your life just unfolds naturally. So the more you live like this, the less neurotic you are, the more your mind naturally becomes quiet. Doesn't mean you don't think. You just don't think about yourself. you just had a big dinner and you're totally full. You're not thinking about eating. You're filled with love and joy. You're not thinking about where do I find love and where do I need to go to be okay, because you already are okay. All right. So then what happens, and I always finish my talks this way, the energy gets so strong inside. Every one of you, it gets so beautiful, so strong inside that you get pulled back into it. If you look at Yogananda's lineage, those 4 pictures on the line there, somebody once asked, Master, how come? Is it because they meditate at night and they don't sleep? Why are their eyes half closed? Why are all their eyes half closed? It's because the ecstasy is so strong inside, it's difficult to fully come out. Okay, well then you're that. And then it pulls you back. And the great ones got pulled back so strong. These are the avatars, the great ones, the enlightened beings, got pulled back so strong that they let go. Just like in an intimate moment, maybe you let go and just merge, fall back into that beautiful energy you're feeling. Except that energy they're feeling is not an experience, it's the experience. And all of a sudden that which was the drop of your consciousness that was looking down at you falls into the ocean of consciousness, the source of consciousness. And it just falls back and merges. All right, so I started this conversation by saying there is a truth that transcends everything, determines everything, cuts through everything, but people don't want to hear it because we're too busy trying to get what we want and avoid what we don't want. That's the only truth they know, isn't it? I'll be okay if this happens. I would have been okay if you didn't do this. And instead it says, I am whole and complete with myself, and I screwed myself up. I screwed myself up by not being able to handle reality of life. But I can do better than that. Period. And every day, every moment, you just keep raising yourself, keep letting go, and it will take you there. Jagrata.